to the show. Hey, yeah. Hey, welcome to the show. Hey, yeah. Welcome to the show. Hey, welcome to the show. Came a long way from the basement. Now I'm a father like Kevin and Jason. Life is amazing. When it comes to your family, everything really come down to communication. All in your head about it, boy, don't fret about it. Just let it out. Let's talk it out. Let's talk it out. Let's talk it out. Let's talk it out. Sit down. Let's talk it out. Sit your ass down. Let's talk it out. Hey, boy, you better. Are y'all tuning in right now? Yo.
Happy Father's Day with Jay and Silent Bob, man. I'm Kevin Smith.
Jason Mewes.
Oh, yeah, we're back, kids. Back to talk about being dads, making dad jokes, being motherfuckers, because that's what dads are. The literal definition
I wish
of a
I
dad.
knew some good actual dad jokes.
All you tell are dad jokes now.
Do I?
Yeah,
Why,
even
'cause
what was the edge back in the day? Like, hey, kids, snooch to the nooch. Now it's just baby talk for fucking children.
I got a joke. It's dad joke. Snooch to the nooch.
You got to come up
It
with
is. It comes with a different. It's
that
a different
does.
indentation. No.
Is
that the word?
Intonation?
Yeah. That's
Intention?
yeah. So yeah, thanks.
Welcome back, kids, to episode 2 of Father's Day. Last episode, Numbnuts over here revealed at the very end that he's still fertile as fuck and flat out impregnated a woman.
Yeah.
The miracle of life, kids. Fucking produced by Jason Mewes, simply because he was too lazy to pull out. No, you actually were planning for this.
We were planning. Okay, so it's funny you say. I feel like my pull-out move worked really well for a long time, but
Welcome to Father's Day podcast, where we tell you how to not be a father. Here's my pull-out method. It worked for years.
And I know it doesn't always, but no, we did plan, and it's great. Like she even went out and bought this, and I wish I had more descriptions, because this is where I'm like, check it out, get a code for it now. But it's a bracelet that I guess like keeps track of your cycle and such like that.
Right.
She also got like packages to pee on a stick, and it says when your business, like you're more fertile than other days, and there would be days where it's like, hey, today I'm fertile, and even if like I was leaving or that, we would
Go, get in the fucking bed and fuck me.
Not even like, just make a deposit and let's go.
Yeah, she's like, look, I pissed on a stick. Now put your fucking dick in me and make life.
You ain't gonna make me come, but just deposit now.
It's true, probably. We've never, when Jen and I had Harley, it was a total, my pull-out method was not nearly as proven as yours, apparently, because Harley exists. But there was, no, hey, let's have a baby.
Yeah, no.
It just happened, and it worked out very well.
Was there ever 1 second where you're like, this ain't my kid? Did you go through that like denial phase where you're like, bullshit?
Never. And especially the moment she came out. The moment she came out, I was
well,
like,
of course,
of course. I took her at her word. I mean, why? She'd traveled all the way to fucking New Jersey.
Yeah.
And stuff. So
it's crazy because that happens to people, but I didn't think it happened to you. But I just didn't know if you had even 1 second where you're like, wait a second.
What would be crazy about it is if it turned like, because Harley literally looks like, as Jen says, beardless, dickless me.
Yeah.
But that would be really weird is that we took a blood test and found out we were not related, just by chance that we kind of looked alike.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And Jen was like, I was keeping it on the down low all this time. I'm like, oh my God. How would I feel? Would I be like I know this about myself to some degree. I can't speak to this weird fucking case with the kid if it was, real. But I remember when my mother told me she was adopted, and that changed how I looked at all my relatives, because I was like, I'm not related to these fuckers. I don't share blood with these people. Blood is a big thing with me, because my father and mother, the worst argument I ever seen my parents get in, my mom, it was Christmas, and we were young. I was like 6, 7, or 8 or something like that. And my Uncle Wayne, the guy in Clerks 3, you're like, look at this fucking guy over there.
Yeah.
He ain't even looking. Gee whiz. That's my Uncle Wayne. He was coming. He called my house like Christmas, night of Christmas, like 6, 7 o'clock. And he was like, oh, I'm going to stop by. My dad was like, oh, great. And then my mom was like, what are you letting him stop by for? Like, everyone's in pajamas. Like, the night's over. Christmas is done. And he's like, well, he's in the area. He wants to stop by. And my mom was pointing out to my dad some shit that like my uncle had done in the past and shit where she fucked him over and whatnot. Try to aid her argument.
Yeah.
And my father, who like never fucking got in my mom's grill. He was whiny and shit like, Grace! But he was never like, you listen here, Grace! Like she was the fucking pants wearer and shit. But I'll never forget in his voice, he goes, blood is thicker than water, Grace.
Yeah.
And I had no idea what that meant. I found out later on what it meant. And shit.
Yeah.
But my mom knew what it meant. Her face fucking lit the fuck up, dude. I've never seen her more angry in my life. She stormed out of the room 2 seconds after she left the living room and shit. You know how small my house on 21 Jackson Street was. 2 seconds, 3 seconds after she walked out of the fucking living room. Wham! And everybody just fucking looked. The whole house shook. And my brother, after a few seconds, he's like, go look. And I went and looked, and right outside my bedroom door, the bedroom me and my brother shared, my mom had come around the corner and fucking right hooked into the wall so hard that she fucking broke the wall.
Wow.
And they kept it like that, dude, until the flood, until the nor'easter. So I would say, honestly, that was 15 years of my life. That hole was in the wall as a constant reminder of like, don't you ever fucking say blood is thicker than water. But blood is thicker than water.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. Like my blood tie is to Harley. Harley is the only person in this house that I'm directly blood tied to. Jennifer, I choose. Her parents, I choose. But we're not related and shit. In your house, Logan's the only one that you're a blood relative to.
Yeah, and I feel like that's where the unconditional love comes from, right? Like,
totally.
I feel like...
But what happens, I did this to Harley on Vegan Abattoir years ago. What happens when the aliens come and they're like, you can only choose one? Do you choose the blood or do you choose the choice? Do you choose Jordan or do you choose Logan? And that doesn't even take into what you got to choose only one. They're like, we're going to vaporize the other. No.
Well, it's not. They're not going to vaporize.
No, they are. That's the fucking deal. You can't change it.
Can't they say that they're like, hey, the world's going to end?
They could, but they're not saying that.
Us. You can come with us.
They're not saying that. They ain't nice. They're fucking evil, dude.
All right, so
they're like, they're evil, but at the same time, they're like, we're giving you one. We could just fucking slaughter everybody.
Yeah, true.
So,
I mean, there's no question. I would pick Logan for sure.
How do you think Jordan feels about that?
She knows.
She's like, you piece of fucking shit.
She would do.
Well, if you both choose Logan, then you both get killed.
It's true. No.
Blood is a big fucking thing, and right now your blood is coursing through your fucking wife's body in a little human being. Now, do you know what that human being is? Last time we didn't even fucking know.
I do. So we found out.
Oh, this is big news,
right?
Yeah,
it's a boy.
You're gonna have a fucking
little
boy.
Yes.
Oh my god. Ladies,
yes.
Lock up your daughters. Ladies, lock up your sons. You don't know. He could be fucking totally. He could be bi. He could be pansexual. He's like, I fuck it all, Dad. I don't give a shit.
By then, there might be new names, too.
I know, right? Like, fucking, he's like, I'm omnigalactosexual. And you're like, what's that? And he's like, I fuck the universe. Don't you limit me, motherfucker.
It honestly, it is exciting. It's exciting because we wanted, the wife and I both were like, of course it'd be nice to have either or. Just healthy.
You wanted a matching set.
Yeah, but
you got the American family: mom, dad, son, daughter, son.
Yeah, and it's great. And right now it's fun.
Dogs,
we're going through names.
Grandma.
Yeah. The whole works.
You have the look.
All we need is a white picket fence.
Yeah, it's true. And you just bought a new house.
We did.
You could literally put a white picket fence around that house, and it would look fucking suburban, picturesque, like the American dream. This is what needs to be pointed out as you head into fatherhood a second time. You have everything you ever wanted. When you were a kid, you would always be like, I want what you got.
Yeah.
And I was like, what a huge fucking cock. And you were like, no, man, I want like a wife and a kid, family and a house and shit like that. And back then, it was like nearly impossible for you to put together. It was anathema. Yeah, I might as well have been like, well, figure out how to get to Mars. Same fucking diff. but now you're living in your fucking dream. Like you're literally, your dream has come true. You made your dream come true. You have a wife. You have not just one kid, but a fucking second kid on the way. Yeah. You have the family that you always crave. You have a home. Like you literally fucking have it all.
It's well, I won't say I have it all, but
what are you missing?
I just feel like having it all. I guess for the most part, yes.
Yeah.
But
what, you don't have a jet? Like
no,
even Affleck don't have a jet.
That's true. Well, I'm saying you're right. I mean, material things there could be more, but I guess I do have everything: a lovely wife, and family, a house, a car. I even have my favorite car, so I do for the most part. Like,
literally have it all.
It is, but I don't like this. It sounds.
No, it's not. You're not. A, you didn't say it. I did. Yeah. But B, turn your mic away from the door a little bit. Not, you don't have to close it. Just turn the mic. It's pointed directly.
Yeah. It definitely.
And now tilt the mic down because it's pointed at your eyes.
It definitely.
Being a fucking dad the second time has not improved your podcasting skills. Don't you fucking.
I don't have a headset. I didn't know that was that loud.
Don't you twitch all the time?
I stream all the time, but my thing's on the table and it's multi-directional.
Right, oh, it's better than this.
Well, it can be. It's not better. This is a great mic. I have one of these too. But I realized I would do this a lot when I was streaming, especially just to test. Guys, you're going to hear a weird noise. But if I was playing a game and I was streaming like this, not so bad, right? No, but then I'd be like, "Oh my God, this is great!" Like, and I would move back.
I prefer I prefer this. I like somebody getting right up in my shit.
Oh, this is the Gator and the Lunatic.
Get up in my shit. Yeah, fucking no. You don't. That ain't the Gator and the Lunatic. The Gator and the Lunatic is like, wow, wow, wow.
It's true. It's true.
This is the Quiet Storm.
Yeah.
We're gonna listen to smooth jazz. The Quiet Storm.
You can call Tyrone. Nice. Call them.
Nice. All right, so you had a story before we started. You're like, ooh, I want to tell you.
Yeah. So again, because it has to do with the father. But really quick, I feel like I don't want to. The fun thing is, and maybe this is something we can do, because mentioning that I have everything, and I do want to say this, and I'm not just saying it because we're on a podcast, but I feel like it's a big. I'm lost of words, but I feel like the podcast is a big stepping stone or road to what I have now, because I was doing the podcast to get old podcasts.
Get old, right.
So it was a big deal. And what I think is great is I'm hoping that people enjoy this podcast, because I do feel like it's the next chapter and is part of everything. All this time leading up to that, I didn't have a house. While we were doing the podcast, I got a house. Then I had a kid. And then it would be awesome to go further with this, because it is father, for me, being a father and being able to talk about it is crazy, because for example, tonight on the way here, I had to call one of the parents, and I don't want to say that's why I was like, oh, I don't know if I should tell the story, because I would hate for a parent to hear this knowing it's them and be like, well, you shouldn't have told that story. But
if you keep their fucking,
but I'll vague. Yeah, I'll try to be vague. Is so we got a call, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what happened? What did my daughter do to this other girl and this boy and all this? And what it was, we found out that my daughter instigated. One of the boys last year had a crush on one of the 6-year-old girls. Right. And that isn't the kid. She didn't feel the same way.
Right.
And this year it's sort of been okay. There's been no trouble with it. But I guess there's still some feelings in the back. So my daughter came up with the idea, or we don't know if it was my daughter. It was one of the 2 or 3 girls she was with.
And for those who are like, what is your daughter? Logan is Jay's 7-year-old daughter.
Correct.
So she's in what, second grade?
Yeah, second grade. These are all second graders.
Okay.
And these 3 second grade girls wrote a letter saying, "Hey, this person likes you." The girl that liked the girl the boy liked last year, they said, "This girl likes you. She has a crush on you," and gave the boy the letter. After the boy read it and was like, "Oh wow, okay." Like, I guess right after was like, "Just kidding, we wrote that." No, she doesn't. And he got really upset, and a bunch of the other kids heard, and they were teasing him, and he got really heartbroken and went home and told his dad and was sad and all this stuff.
Right.
And again, it was one of those things where when I got the call, I'm like, I know it wasn't a malicious thing. I know they weren't like, watch, let's crush this kid's dreams.
Right.
They were like, this is funny, so-and-so kissing in a tree, like the goofiness. but it really hurt the boy's feelings. So now I got to tell her, like, you got to please apologize. You hurt his feelings. But it's that weird thing where I'm like, oh, what a big baby. Who cares? Like, part of me feels that way, but I know, like, that isn't the case.
Where you're like,
and this is where it's,
well, maybe your kid should toughen the fuck up.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
life is hard.
And that's how I feel partially, but I don't feel that way. But I think that at first, but again, this is where I'm like, am I a bad father for thinking that? Like, you know, should I tell her to apologize? Or no, she shouldn't have to apologize because she was just playing around, having fun. It's like,
You want my advice?
No, yeah, sure.
As a veteran in the fatherhood
Yes,
field?
please.
Got a 23-year-old. I wouldn't have encountered this. My kid's super, super fucking empathetic, super soft and shit. But if I'm you, I impart to her how maybe she didn't mean this, but like that hurt the boy and stuff. And like, how would she feel if she was the one that everybody was laughing at and stuff? You got to create empathy in the kid, so that it don't ever happen again, because she's adorable, and pretty people get away with a lot in life. And, she will probably get away with a lot. You might want to early on make sure she knows that like,
sense.
Put somebody else's feelings, think about somebody else's, don't put them before your own, but think about somebody else's feelings, and always cast yourself in the role of like, what if that was me? What if everyone in class, what if I got that note?
Yes.
And then I was like, oh, I like that boy, because I know she's like that older boy and shit like that. Use that example. Like, remember that older boy? What if fucking everyone wrote a note to him? Or you about him, and then they were like, just kidding, and then they were all making fun.
It makes
So then it'll be easier for her to get her head around it, because you're right, she probably didn't do it going like, let's shatter this fucking soul.
No.
I want to break a man at 7.
Exactly. And for a second, I'm like, well, maybe my kid's like,
you
witty.
can break a man at 7. You can break a man at 9. At 9 years old, I went to the water slide. Long Branch. Remember the Long Branch water slide?
I remember you telling me. Yeah.
I went to the Long Branch water slide, and I'm going up and down and having a fucking time of my life, man. Like, I was a big water slide fucking fan.
Oh yeah.
Ain't nothing sad about a water slide. It's good times. Until there's always some fucker that sits at the top who's like, wait, go.
Yeah.
Wait, go. So I'd been up and down 4 times and shit. Get to the top for the 5th time and shit. And the guy goes, whoa, whoa, whoa. Pregnant ladies can't ride the slide.
Oh, motherfucker.
Oh, bro. I went down so sad.
Yeah.
There were more of my tears in that water slide than the actual water itself. And I'm 52.
Yeah.
And I could still see it vividly. And it cast the die of my entire fucking life. This offhanded comment by some fucking...
And it could have been worse. Like, imagine if it was like at the pool and there was a bunch of people around and they're like,
yeah, they're all like,
it's like
pregnant lady, pregnant lady, pregnant lady. I'm like, no, I'm not a pregnant lady. These aren't boobs. I'm just a 9-year-old boy. Pregnant lady.
Turns into a horror movie. You're just like,
I get my period in the fucking pool. People are like, pregnant lady. How can I be pregnant? I'm getting my period.
It is, it's crazy because, again, these situations.
Dude, think about how cruel kids were when we were kids.
Oh,
And now kids are so much more sophisticated. Like, it'd be tough to be a kid right now. Like, when we were kids, like, think about it. The biggest thing you had to worry about was like, oh, am I going to get a Valentine?
Yeah.
Oh, like, can I go trick-or-treating? Ooh, what will I get for Christmas and shit? Now kids got to deal with, like, I guess we had to deal with a looming threat of nuclear war.
No, there's a lot of stuff. And I feel like for me, it seems like more people are aware of things because of the cell phone.
Yes.
And all that stuff. But I also wonder, this is a big thing. Our next question is, I was thinking about, I talked about this to Jordan. Again, I don't want to say a person's name, but I remember we had to take showers after gym class.
Yeah.
And there was probably, I think there was about 20 of us that were in the class, let's say boys anyway.
At Henry Hudson Regional.
Yeah, and you had to shower. Out of 20 boys, there was only one boy not circumcised.
Yeah.
He had a hooded monster. And we would sort of tease him a little bit.
Hence his
about
name, the hooded monster.
Yeah. And so we would somewhat not tease them, but like people
Be
would
like,
mention
yours
it.
is different.
Yeah, and so, but now it's like
that's where your kid gets it.
I don't know if
you're
we
pointing at the different boy, and being like, pregnant lady.
Yeah. But it seems it.
So the question on the floor is:
You're
having
that?
a boy?
Yes.
Does the boy get circumcised?
Totally.
Now, Jason and I are of a circumcised generation,
Yes.
so our dicks look like what we would consider normal. However, that was a thing of like the 70s, I believe, 70s and early 80s, where they were just fucking, this used to be a Jewish practice.
Yes.
A moil would come in and circumcise where it comes from. Then I guess they adopted it as like, well, this will help with cleanliness. Yeah.
And godliness.
I guess. So they, it became prevalent. But then, like, after our generation, I guess people started being like, this is fucking weird. And they started letting boys have sleeves again.
Yeah.
Shit. My old man was uncut.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you see his hooded monster?
My whole fucking life. He was always like, look at it. Ain't it weird? It don't look like yours. Do it. I'm like, sure don't, Dad. Can you put it away? It's not a microscope.
It looks like a 100s hoodie, right?
Yeah. Look at this wizard sleeve. You want to see a surprise? Look who's coming out.
And shall pass.
Look at the Balrog. Here he is. Now he goes back in the cave. Now he's out of the cave.
I do wonder, though. I want to ask.
I never saw
an adult.
here. That's such a weird thing. I mean, I guess this is something that most children would be proud to proclaim, but like, I never saw my dad's dick head. All I saw was the fucking sleeve. So I don't even know if he's got a mushroom cap or nothing. My whole life,
looks like one of those little piss clams.
Exactly. It's like, hey, piss clam, put that away.
Put your pisser away.
I wonder if, it's years. He's been dead for, next year it'll be 20 years. Is it okay to ask my mom, like, so what happened when you rolled that shit back? What was under there? Magic? She was like, oh, it was luscious magic.
Well, that's what I want to ask an adult, like, when it rolls back, is
could
it
have asked him.
Thicker?
Why didn't you fucking think to ask my dad when he was around?
In the future,
Mr. Smith,
I could have this issue.
Can I ask you a question about your dick?
Well, think about it. He must have had to clean that shit all the time because it's like it's just attracting like lint and germs.
Or is it? You know what I'm saying? Like
hair clips in that shit. Hold it back. It's
some C-42s.
like fucking
hold it back.
The Crocs have little fucking jibs or whatever. You get little dick jibs.
I was like, what is this drawbridge string? He's like, that's to hold my fucking dick in. I don't know if it's any less like sanitary. Like I think you're thinking like, ew, all the shit gets in there. But I think it stays covered, no? Until it's time.
I know when
when it gets hard, that's when the fucking head pops out.
Yeah, and it comes out, and I would
it's
imagine
like, oh, fuck.
It was like fucking T2 and shit. No,
the T1000.
No,
the total we call 2 weeks. Oh no, there's something under there.
It's gonna explode. Look
out. Yeah, I don't know, dude. Think about it. The most experience I have with a dick, all the experience I have with a dick is my own. So I know it looks one way. I saw my dad's dick by virtue of the fact that because I'm sure some people out there is like, can you go back to how you know what your dad's dick looks like? My parents would walk around naked all the time.
That's awesome.
Not like, nudists, but like they'd go from their bedroom, out of their bedroom to the bathroom and never put on robes or anything like that. And
See this dick, son?
I sure do, Dad. All right, then. You just go to the bathroom.
See these nuts? Your brothers and sisters are in these months.
Sure were. I used to live there, Dad. Damn, Skippy, you did. You lived in my nuts. Now you live in my house. But I can't say for certain how it works, but I think
I do want to ask an
it's
adult.
presupposing that it's, that shit gets in there.
Mm-hmm.
That it's, I think that it comes out and then goes in. I think the only time shit would get in is when you're fucking.
I mean, I feel like when you're
Isn't
walking
this crazy
around,
that like I'm 52, you're 48, and like we've never talked to somebody
I'm
uncircumcised.
going to talk to, I know
like,
someone who has one. I'm going to ask him. I don't know if I could say.
Oh, don't say it.
But I do know.
Yeah, like, who's got who?
Yeah. I want to ask him though. Like, does it get thicker when it pulls back? Because you think all that extra fucking meat, right, pulls back down and shit. It's like a scarf.
It's gotta look.
It's like a scarf and shit.
It's gotta look more impressive. What you're losing in, familiarity. And as much as like most people think of a dick looking like, oh, it's got the little fucking mushroom cap and shit like that. What you lose in the familiarity, you gain in the surprise, like the show of it all. Because it's always and now, ladies and gentlemen, for your viewing pleasure, because he's going to come out, right? The skin got to roll back. It's like coming up the stages that elevate. Fucking Liberace on a piano and shit. So the big question is then,
do we do it? Yeah. Well, is it better for him as a boy? Will he care when he's older?
Are you mad that they cut yours?
No, not at all. It just seems so normal to me.
I know.
That's what I mean. And then seeing so many
that was the way we
kids.
was raised. But now think about it. Now really think about the process. What the fuck is normal about it?
Yeah, like them taking the little baby's penis and cutting it off.
But no good fucking this kid's gonna enter the world and shit like life's good, and all of a sudden somebody's like, "Give me your dick!" And cutting at it and shit. That's trauma.
And if they fuck it up, and they could like just have like a little, I don't know.
If I had a kid who was a boy, I don't think I would have done it.
Yeah.
It'll
be interesting. We were still talking about it. That and the names are the big thing. So, we're thinking of names, which I would love to get feedback. I don't know if we're going to have a way to get comments and such for this, but if there is,
social media accounts.
Yeah, hopefully all this, we have this,
you can put it under hashtag Father's Day JSB.
Yes.
Father's Day JSB. Give us suggestions. Or no, how about hashtag Baby Boy Mewes.
Yes.
BABYBOYMEWS. Hashtag Baby Boy Mewes. Drop us your suggestions. So the last name is Mewes.
Yeah.
Not Monsanto Mewes.
No, Mewes. Not for sure.
So just flat out Mewes.
Yeah.
We've been talking, Jay and I, about alliterative names.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell them the name that you want?
I'm afraid, like, is there someone that, like, from now to when our kid's born hears this and then names their son what the thought?
Good thought. Don't share it.
So I have a favorite.
Jay has a favorite, which I will say is pretty fucking amazing. Pretty metal.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I'd go for it 100%. Jordan's like,
Jordan has its in, which again, it was such a different. When we had Logan, we knew, boy or girl, we knew we were having the kid's name was gonna be Logan, which was so easy. Like it was, her and I agreed on it. We didn't even have to go, well, how about maybe? It was like Logan. That's it.
That was the way it was with Harley. It was always Harley Quinn, but if it was a boy, it would have been Charlie Quinn.
Yeah. So it's but we have a bunch of names we've come up with. One of them I'll say that I like, but I know she's not gonna go for. She doesn't want to do it. Was Azrael. I really liked. But again, I get why she doesn't want to go with that, and that will be one that we're not going to have. So I don't mind saying that one, because if someone names their kid Azrael, But what we noticed is Logan goes to school. Our daughter Logan goes to school with a bunch of kids that have pretty cool names. One of them, like we liked, was Rome.
Right. That's like
Lucian. Lucian was a really other one we really liked. Lucian.
Those are two names that are currently on streaming, like on streaming services. Roman is in Succession.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's a character in Succession, and Lucian is the librarian in Sandman.
Oh wow, yeah, very cool.
How wild that people are like, I'm gonna go with Lucian. What a great fucking name. We live in that world. You and I grew up in an age of like Scott, Mike, John,
everyone I
Chris
hung out with was all that
standard
Jason,
ass
Kevin.
fucking names, man.
Yeah.
Remember Albion Olsen? There was a fucking name.
Yeah, I do.
He was like a skate kid, surf kid and shit. Total like California vibe in New Jersey. But I always thought Albion was a great fucking name. Yeah. And he was unique.
But there wasn't many names like
fuck no. It was a pretty standard ass selection of fucking 70s, 80s
Ethan,
names.
like all those normal names.
So we should open it up to everyone. Hashtag Baby Boy Mewes. give us some first names.
Yeah, let's do it. That'll be fun. I would love to get your feedback. And again, of course, as you can hear, we definitely know like Jeff's or Bill's.
Yeah, leave all the fucking standardized bullshit.
And again, there's cool names, but if I would love
Jr.
to go as rare as rare, but it's cool. Like, and again, I know that it's really hard to find a name that hasn't been taken somewhere. But I'm just saying, it's possible.
Comic book origin names also good, considering you got Logan.
I liked Orion, but
Orion is a comic book character.
Yeah, Orion.
But also
Darkseid.
many other things, not just comic book characters.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But you're thinking of the New Gods, Jack Kirby's New Gods.
Yes. Ooh, Kirby
Mewes.
Ooh,
that's good. There you go. There's one for the list and shit.
Yeah, don't take it. No, I'm just kidding. So they're definitely fun.
Bro.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yes.
Stan Lee Mewes.
Oh shit, son.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So we have to give the backstory of the Lee, right? Yeah.
Because isn't Jordan's
So
middle
that's
name
like don't know. So Lee is part of Jordan's her great grandmother, her grandmother, her mother. All her middle name is Lee, like Adrian. Yeah, like Adrian Lee. Jordan Lee, Logan Lee, Mewes.
Logan's middle
name is Lee.
That's right. You're right.
So the boys don't have to be, but they can be.
Could
and should I guess they still lean towards it.
The whole world would write about you naming your kids Stan Lee Mewes.
I love it.
Ooh,
do you feel like does someone get offended by that?
No way.
There's only one Stan Lee.
No way. That's an honorific, bro.
Yeah.
People name their kids Dante and Brody, for Christ's sake. And I've met them. They're all grown up now. I met a 20-year-old Brody the other day, man. He's like, my dad named me. I was like, is it Y or IE? Because in Jaws, I think it's Y. He's like, IE, man, small rats. And I'm like, wow.
Nice.
I'm your
Brody
fucking Faja.
Like, Brody man.
Noochie nooches.
It's exciting. And again, the cool thing is
so many big questions.
Yeah.
What do you name him? Do you cut his dick with a knife the moment he's born?
Yes. And again, the cool thing is we get to talk. We're at everyone. We are at next week. We go do the full scan. I forget what it's called exactly, but we're going to the doctors to get the full scan of Jordan's the belly, and then we'll get to see like a 3D image of the baby, which is awesome. Again, and again, I could share that when I am back here again for the next episode, unless we do one before that. But regardless, one of the episodes we get to talk about that, and then we get to talk about it the whole thing. Maybe we can be in the fucking delivery room with our mics set
doing
up
the
here.
podcast.
Like we just bring this whole
live
table.
podcast,
right
live
here she
potting
is.
the birth. That'd be
You
so.
can hear her like, shut the fuck up.
That'd be so like weird, considering how closely I work with Jordan all the time.
I know. We could have maybe a sheet.
But to
there
be
you
fair,
can
when
share.
I had, I'm like, put a fucking sheet over that. I don't want to see that. I got to work with that. But I think when I was like, I try not to think about it. But when I was having the heart attack, and it's not like I try not to think about it because the heart attack was harrowing. I try not to think about it because this is fucking horrifying. Like, pretty sure Jordan saw me with my shirt off and sitting. So I look like just fucking Jabba the Hutt, man. I gave up any sense of authority and power I had because she was like, I take orders from that.
No way. I don't think she was.
She did, bro. You don't have to lie. I know.
No, but
fucking
even
sometimes you guys are laying in
it.
bed at night, and she's like, he just kept undulating. There were so many rolls.
No. Honest to goodness, I would tell you right now because I feel like it would be something to talk about. She's
like,
never
bro.
mentioned, if she did see you with your shirt off, she never said anything to me.
She's going to mention to you on her deathbed as she passes this world. She's going to be like, I never told
closer.
you. Yes.
When Kevin was having his heart attack,
He was so fat. You're like, I can't believe that's the last thing she said to me. You know what I did today? I mean, I don't know if this has much to do with fucking being a dad, but I am a dad, so everything I say has to do with being a dad. Harley's dad. Well, I guess it does. It has to do with Harley. So, like a year ago, Harley's doctor put her on this shot, and it was a pre-diabetic shot because Harley had this weird chemistry thing that was kind of, she was working out, bro, like 3 times a week. The other day, she was like, I did the math on how much I spent on a personal trainer last year, because now she works out, but she just don't use the personal trainer.
Yeah.
And I was like, and she was like, it was like way too much. And she told me the figure. I ain't gonna share it, but it was fucking high. And the whole time she was doing it, she, like, her body shape wouldn't change, and even if she reduced her diet, like, she was just, the weight wouldn't leave. So the doctor was like, you know, your chemistry, she has a name for a condition that she has, and he was like, they found that this shot is good for it. So she started taking this shot, and like it suppressed her appetite, and weight started dropping off. So Harley looks fucking amazing, like best she's ever looked in her life. Healthy, fucking, but like completely just like, you know, fucking, she fights my genetics. So, you know, Chubb always wants to move in, but she looks phenomenal. So, you know, I kept telling her for like months, I'm like, God damn it, kiddo. Like, you look fucking great, man. Like, this is the best you fucking ever look. Like, what are you doing? So, wait, I want to go, where is this person? Like, one time I started working out with the person she worked out with, and I threw up because it was so fucking hard and shit. I was like, no, thank you. I don't want, this ain't worth it.
Yeah.
But she told me about this shot, and she was like, I want you to get on this shot. I want you to do this too. And I was like, oh, I don't know about that. And she's like, it's good for heart attack people. And I was like, well, that sounds like bullshit. And she's like, seriously, I'll go to your doctor with you. So she went with me to see Leidenheim last time I went, Dr. Leidenheim, my cardiologist guy who saved my life. And he was like, yeah, no, I know what this shot is. And it is actually like good for people like you. So he's like, you know, I'm not going to put you on the one she's on. He's going, but there's a newer one that's even better. And it, you know, it's not like guaranteed to, but usually you drop about 20% of your body weight. So it's an injectable pen, and mine is called Mounjaro, and you stick it like in your stomach, and you unlock it, and then you press the trigger, and it goes and then retracts the needle and shit. It's pretty amazing. And so I've been on it now for, I guess, 3 months or whatever. And, you know, I was always like, fucking, I'm going to fast for like 12 days. Yeah, I remember. Now I just don't, you know, with the tour, I'm preoccupied. So I don't really think about eating as much and blah, blah, blah. But between the shot and like I'm hiking every day, like I was even on the road, I've been walking 4 miles a day and stuff. Tomorrow morning I hike Runyon. This was the first time I was home in a month. So, you know, I was like, let me see if my fucking jacket fits. I got this jacket that's a Hugo Boss jacket that I got in 1998 while we were making Dogma. I wore it to the Spirit Awards, won a Spirit Award in that jacket, fucking had made out with and had sex with Schwalbach in that jacket for the first time and stuff. Then years later, like I wore that jacket, you know, after I lost a bunch of weight after the heart attack. I pulled it out of mothballs, and I was like, holy fuck, I fit into this fucking jacket that I fit into when we were making fucking Dogma. That was nuts. And so I wore it to when we got our hands and feet in the cement of the Chinese. So that's my Hugo Boss jacket. Then we went out on tour then for Reboot Roadshow. Then pandemic happened, and I ain't fit in that jacket ever since. You know, you put it on and fucking looks like Oliver Hardy and shit like that, the Laurel and Hardy. But when I came home for the first time in a fucking month, because I left on September 3rd to start the Reboot Roadshow tour. Not Reboot Roadshow, the convenience tour.
Yeah.
I came home today and I put on the jacket, and not only does it fit, but there's fucking room. So I was like, well, fucking let me weigh myself because I ain't done that in a dog's age. And I know for some people will be like, that don't sound fucking thin, but I'm back to the weight I was when I was at the Chinese theater, if not a little under. I'm 200 pounds.
Nice.
Which for me is fucking great.
Yeah,
now,
it is.
I got full of I'm full of loose skin because, you know, when you get fat, it pushes your skin out and stuff. And then when you retract, your stomach gets smaller, the skin just droops. It doesn't go back. Skin being a big organ, you just distend it and shit like that. So Ethan had that as well. Ethan Suplee. He had the surgery where you go in and have all the loose skin taken off. And they literally just pull it, chop it, and sew you up.
No way. I was wondering about that.
He said, and he suggested never doing it. He was like, bro, it was the worst recovery. He was like, it was so fucking painful. Like still, he's like, he's never do it. He's going, it's not worth it. But if I did it, that would easily be about 15 pounds in just skin.
But is it literally they're saying that's the only way to get rid of the skin? There's no other alternatives. They haven't come up with like.
No.
What if you build muscle though? What does the muscle pull the?
Nope.
No.
Because Ethan.
Yeah. No, I know
built
he's
fucking
huge.
muscle.
No, I know he has, but I thought he
still,
got the thing
he had
first.
pictures. He sent me pictures of like him jacked.
Oh,
but with
okay.
the loose skin,
I didn't know
fucking
that.
draping.
Okay.
And
I thought he got
That's
it before
why
he
went
got jacked.
No. I think he got jacked fucking first.
Okay.
There are some cases because I know people are like, no, it goes back. You know, let's say you're a motherfucker who's like you. Let's say you like put on 30 pounds and shit, and you had like a big old dad gut and shit. And then you like maybe 2 years later lost that 30 pounds, your dad, and you went back to looking like you look now. You wouldn't have that distended skin. You know, maybe you have some stretch mark or two, but like your skin would probably go back to the way it is now. But mine was like, you know, at one point I weighed 330 fucking pounds and shit. That just pushes that shit all the fuck out.
Yeah.
So when your guts shrink, if you're, you know, you lose weight, the skin doesn't, and it just droops down and shit. So if you look at me naked, like I look like fucking the old lady in The Shining when she gets out of the tub. First she's a sexy woman and shit, and then she's like all fucking melty and shit. Or the dude in fucking RoboCop who's like he gets hit by the car. So yeah, man, for anybody like this is certainly not a commercial, but like this is actually a fucking thing, and I think it works with insurance and stuff. Manjaro,
very cool.
Yeah,
and it doesn't hurt, which is good.
Not at all. And my kid turned me on to it. And once again, to bring us back to fatherhood, without my kid, never would have known.
And the good thing is too is because you're taking that, you're saying when you're not been fasting as much because you can. Yeah. You're busy, of course, but you eat a little bit on the road on tour. But you're not fasting for 5 to 10 days because you're taking the shot.
And the thing is, I just stop eating, which is that's not normal for me. Once I start.
Yes.
I'm like, well, I'm going to get some of this. Now I'm going to go
I'm
for
get
some
a whole
of
box
this. I'm
of
going to
this.
do this. I'm going to do this. And I just, like, I'll graze. I'll lay on the bed, watch a 2-hour movie, and consistently eat throughout. Not like, I had a bag of chips. It's like, I had a bag of chips, and then I had a fucking sandwich, and then I had my fucking steak slices, then I had pretzels, then I had ice cream, then I had fucking, like, the 2 hours of eating. Without thinking about, like, you were full an hour and 55 minutes ago.
I do it sometimes,
So it's, you know, it helps being on tour because every night I'm busy watching the movie. Every night I have to stand in front of like 1,000, 1,500 people. So I'm like, well, I don't want to look fucking my worst. I want to look my best. Throw in the shot, throw in the constantly walking.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's a good, like, this gets me exactly back to where I was when we were starting Reboot Roadshow tour and stuff. And I didn't know that I could get back there at this point because I was like, oh, you know, I figured, all right, well, you'll be like 220 to 230 for the rest of your life or something like that. But now I'm like, oh, maybe I can keep it under fucking 200 and shit. 200 or under. That'd be kind of amazing.
I think
better living through science, kids.
I like it. I like it.
Super soldier serum. I'm like fucking.
That'd be awesome.
I'm like
dude.
Steve Rogers and shit.
What if all of a sudden they did? What if like
I'm like a very flabby Steve Rogers. With
what
no
if they
muscles.
they gave you a B complex shot and they didn't realize the mixture of that and that they never tried it and all of a sudden you were like,
That was jacked.
and all of a sudden you start hiking and running fucking real fast. You're like, holy shit!
I think after the tour, I've always threatened this, but like after the tour, I might like start working out.
Do it.
Try to put some fucking muscle on because I've never had muscle my entire fucking life. So I maybe like, you know, it's not like, oh, I got all this free time, but like maybe after the tour, like I got money. Just hire some motherfucker to be like, just do it 3 days a week,
do
man.
it, yeah.
Fucking let's
It'll feel
blast your
good.
pecs and your
Because
arms.
man, it gets your endorphins going and stuff. So
I
bet you
also
get
don't
that when
want to
you
become
hike,
like,
right?
hey asshole, like
No,
fucking all
yeah.
jacked and shit.
No, but even just a little bit. I bet if you felt.
I don't want to get like Chappelle, not like I'm like fucking ew Chappelle, but like he's very big. Like remember Chappelle was like just
So was-
fucking
yeah.
like you. Like in fact like fucking like not even like you.
No,
you
he
you
was
were
real
more
big.
jacked than Chappelle. Now Chappelle is fucking jacked.
Oh, I haven't seen him. What do you mean he's been working?
Oh,
out?
for years, bro. Like now
Yeah.
you see him do a special, he takes his fucking shirt off and he's like
Really, I didn't know that.
yeah, like he looks like a fucking male model.
Yeah.
But they're not even like, oh, he's all trimmed. The arms are huge. It's a
Yeah,
gun
yeah.
show.
Which is so funny too, because I think of him like
Yeah.
they're like
It's
how you
very
gonna whip it
wiry.
like this, son?
But
How you
like,
gonna-
you know, it's like that's the idea is like people could change and shit.
Yeah,
So
hell
maybe it's
yeah.
possible that like if I've done this far, maybe I can fucking start building some goddamn muscle and
Fuck
shit.
yeah, I like it.
Muscle Mewes. There you go. Muscle Mewes. You
Yeah.
call 'em muscles. Muscles
Yo,
Mewes. Yo, muscles. Spell it like the fish though, like the piss clam. Muscles Mewes.
Oh fuck yeah, muscle blow. No.
Blowfish Mewes.
I was thinking blowfish, right? Because they fucking. I don't know. I think there's so many options out there, but I feel like we're gonna find one that's gonna be good. So, and again, the good thing is we could talk about that. And then again, there's tons. This is only our second one, and I feel like when we start getting in the groove, there's so many stories like the one I said about Logan earlier
Right.
that happens. That again is like to me, it's those choices I have to make where I'm like. Again, it's like, okay, for 4 weeks she's been going to school. She gets up and goes to school at like 8:30. Then she has study hall and or like chess. She's doing chess.
Logan's playing chess.
Yeah, on Mondays they're teaching her chess.
Can I just point out that
What?
this kid is already very strategic.
Yeah.
If you guys teach her chess, you're
Yeah,
fucked.
I know.
Because she's going to be moving you two around that house like
Oh, it's-
fucking pieces on a goddamn board, man.
Dude, she's
clever.
I've
I've said, like, she's smart like her mother and crafty like her father.
No, it's unbelievable. She will literally like, so I bring her to the park, right? And someday, there's been a couple times we go to the park, we scoot, we rollerblade, we do sidewalk chalk. Sometimes we would be gone, we would go and we would do that. And she'd be like, I'm tired. And I'd be like, but we only been gone like 30 minutes. I'd be like, let's just hang out a little bit longer and skate. And to get her to skate, I would sort of be like, well, look, let's take a couple videos, pictures so we can send them to mommy. And that would get her going. I said, and if you do that, then we could sit in the car and we'll watch like, an episode of Trolls or a cartoon or something on my dashboard. So then she tells Jordan the other night, like literally this happened like, because now we moved, so we don't live by that park.
Right.
So I haven't done that in about 6 months. So just last night or 2 nights ago, she goes, Mommy, remember when we used to go to the park and skate? She's like, yeah, didn't you love, like now we get to use the sidewalk chalk. So sorry, that's how it started.
Right.
Jordan goes, hey, we have a sidewalk and now it's safe. You can literally sit on our sidewalk and use sidewalk chalk like you used to do at the park. She goes, Mommy, when we used to go to the park and Daddy, we'd take pictures of us and drawing a sidewalk chalk and she'd be like, Daddy'd be like, look what Logan drew and send the picture. She'd be like, I never drew that. Daddy used to draw that with the sidewalk chalk.
She fucking dropped dime.
Yo, oh yeah, 6 months later, bro. Like, listen, like really like trying to pit us against each other, dude. It's crazy. She's very like.
And you're going to let her play chess.
We got. I mean, yes, but I think
You
it's
guys
great.
are fucked. Now you're pawns.
I know it's but she. Again, I think
so
it's great.
funny, man.
She will.
What
she
was the
will
game?
just-
What did she get out of that? dropping dime on you 6 months after the
I
fact?
don't know. I really feel like she wants to. She doesn't want to like hold something back. But I also think Jordan will be like a little bummed with me, and then maybe her and I will tit tat back and forth, and then like I'll be like, "Come on, Logan, let's take a ride. Let's spend them." I don't know if she's trying to be like, "Look, Daddy's paying too much attention to Mommy, so let me pit them against each other."
Do you know what a kid like that?
Sure.
A kid like that grows up to be like, I have a weather machine pointed at Australia. I'll take $40 billion or every Australian dies.
I hope
That's a fucking super genius right there.
No, she's funny. But again, I don't. The good thing is I don't feel like these things that like just like with the kid at school, I don't feel like they're coming from a malicious place as much as like a hey, let me see what I can get out of it.
Yes,
laugh.
Which is to be fair, a malicious place would be horrible.
Yeah.
But this is more like, let me see if I can play these humans.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess.
Like a little
Let me
fucking
play
kid
chess
from outer
with these.
space. Yes.
He's a rook. Yeah. She's a knight.
Yes. She don't
He's
see
a
you as a
pawn.
rook, bro.
No,
You're all pawns to her.
No.
Well, everyone's in for a fucking sweet surprise, man. Sweet surprise. Not really a surprise. Everyone's in for a neat treat. Neat treat. Jesus Christ. This is a dad podcast. You're going to have some fucking metal-ass good times in the next episode because the little princess herself, Logan, is going to be here to tell you how she feels about her impending brother. Yes. Perhaps the name that she wants to give the kid.
Yay.
And all the politics of Logan Lee Mewes' world, man. Our first guest on Father's Day will be Logan, Jay's daughter. Next week on Father's Day. There it is, kids. Your episode 2. You're like, all right, episode 1 was promising. What did they do in episode 2? Oh, they told us the sex of the baby. What will they do in episode 3? You'll meet the other kid.
Yeah.
And she chatty and funny.
Oh, yeah.
And you'll hear girl Mewes for the first time. And you'll be like, oh, my God. We can get her to say shit like snoogin, snooch.
Yeah. She'll be. I think she'll be fun. If she warms up, she's gonna be.
Especially, I'll put the headphones on her. She'll be like, "Oh, I hear my own voice."
Oh yeah.
There it is, kids. There's your second episode, man. That's a look at fucking born to be dads, man.
That could be our theme song.
Right? Probably not.
I don't know. Running down the highway,
chasing my daughter.
Do we cut the foreskin, or do we keep it,
or give him wizard sleeve? So many questions to ponder. So many weeks until the baby is born. Yes. Where is she right now?
She's sleep. She putting Logan to bed.
Where is she?
Months. She is.
She's at our house.
Yeah.
Logan probably in my bed.
So wait, I'm sorry. I think so. Next Monday we go for that scan, I believe, which would be 20 weeks.
She's
so
showing.
Next Monday she'll be. So she's 19 weeks.
I've been out on tour, of course, with Clerks 3, the convenience tour. We're 20 shows in to a 50 show run.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not even at the halfway mark, but I left a month ago, and we went to the premiere, and I knew Jordan was pregnant, but you couldn't really tell.
No.
But I saw her today, and
oh yeah, it's
she's got a big old fucking baby in her.
Yeah. It's very exciting, and it's very because again we tried. So and again we'll talk more about that. But
how about how you tried? That's the sexy part.
I'm
You're
saying,
like, I would put my wiener in her, and I would hump until I came. And that's how we tried.
Because I know we were talking about. We started talking about it, and then we veered off. I think because I told the story, but I'm saying like, the cool thing is that, we talked about it. We got we pissed on sticks, and like it happened in it happened like 4 months.
Will
5
Wilkins.
Months in.
That's the name of the episode, by the way. Pissed on sticks.
Yes.
He might have to put Will. Use $2 for the S's in pissed.
Yeah.
That way, fucking the government, Apple, they can't shut us down.
No, they
for
can't.
being dirty.
Yeah.
They'd be like, oh, they're being hip.
Yeah, piss on those sticks
with $. Use the $signs on the S on the sticks as well.
Oh yeah, or hockey sticks. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
We had a good theme going.
I know I'm fucking it up. I was thinking double hockey sticks.
There it is, kids. For Father's Day, I'm Kevin Smith.
Jason Mewes.
Happy Father's Day, everybody. This is the maquette. Greetings, everybody, and welcome to the AKA Ask Kev Anything.
Every saga has a 10-year anniversary, ladies and gentlemen, and this is what happens when Jay and Silent Bob get old. I'm Kevin Smith. Cheers,